Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Locker Room, our weekly podcast where we shine a light on the student athletes here in our Bayou region. I am Stan Gravois. He is Dustin Robichaud. We both work here at Terrebonne General. My capacity is just a general public relations guy. His capacity, he is the guy who does all of the graphics, all of the media type things, and he is the guy who's instrumental in putting this all together. But maybe more importantly than that, he's the guy who lets us know every Monday why we are here to celebrate. And this Monday, we are here to celebrate. Why, Dustin?
Happy Eat What You Want Day, Stan.
I like that day. Might be the best day you've ever kind of shared.
Yes.
with me.
So what would be your choice? Eat what you want.
Ooh, man. I am a fettuccine guy. I
Okay.
really like fettuccine. I like a really good wrap. Like a really good wrap. Not just a,
Yeah.
I like a hamburger that has like an egg on top of it.
Okay.
Did you expect that?
Hey, I'm right there with you.
I really do like that. So yeah, I could think of a few things. The problem is gotta keep the eating under control a little bit.
Yeah, but this is the day, Stan. This is the day that you
we
can
let
eat whatever
loose.
you want. Yes,
Okay.
let loose.
Here's the problem. I have a few of those days throughout the year. So
Okay.
I don't need today to celebrate that.
Gotcha.
Listen, we are here to celebrate some championships. We actually have some schools that are doing really well as we finish up the school season. We started off by talking about South Lafourche High School's track and field team. Wonderful, won a state championship in 4A. That school's first ever state championship in track and field, and they did it under horrible conditions in Baton Rouge on Saturday. For you folks out there who may be under a rock and didn't realize they won it, they did it in that downpour. Now, if it wasn't lightning over at Burning Moor Track at LSU, they were running and they were throwing and whatever else the case may be. They did move some events inside that could be done inside, but remember, it's an outdoor track and field meet. So that being said, congratulations to South Lafourche. That's just a wonderful honor. We'll talk a little bit more about the individual honors in just a little while. We have 3 baseball teams locally that are going on to Sulphur with opportunities to win state championships. In Division II Select, Vanderbilt Catholic won 2 out of 3 from Orca, an up-and-coming school out of Youngsville. They'll be going to Sulphur, and not going to be easy. They'll be in the championship series with St. Charles Catholic, best 2 out of 3, which starts later this week in Sulphur. And CCA and Central Catholic out of Morgan City are both in the Division IV Select bracket. Both are playing to meet each other in a state championship. Remember, in Division IV, they don't play best 2 out of 3. So they allow 4 teams to go to Sulphur. Whereas in Division II, where Vanderbilt plays, they only allow 2 teams because they play best 2 out of 3. Got that? Again,
Yeah.
LHSAA, always something, always interesting. So Vanderbilt will be playing for a state championship against St. Charles Catholic. We know that. Covenant Christian is actually going to be playing against Cedar Creek in a semifinal game in Sulphur. Central Catholic will be playing against Ouachita Christian in a semifinal game to get to the championship game, which is a winner-take-all. Can you understand that? Does that make sense to you?
Sure. Yeah. Got that.
Why it's done like that, we're not quite sure. A lot of people believe it's because Single A doesn't have the number of kids, and I guess LHSA feels like they can't play 3-game series, but they really ought to let them play 3-game series because it sort of is what it is. That not being the case, listen, just congratulations to all of those teams who were there. And then within our podcast today, we talked to Caroline Loupe. Caroline Loupe is a young, up-and-coming coach in our area who took the women's basketball job at Ellender Memorial. So we'll talk to Caroline about some of those things she's trying to get in line as she takes over the Lady Patriots basketball program, So wishing big things to all of these folks. Back to track and field. Again, South Lafourche, state champs. There you see it on your screen. South Lafourche scored 57 points. Nearest competitor was West Ouachita with 46, Northside 29. Unfortunately, we had nobody else from the immediate local area who was inside of the top 5. What a great outing by South Lafourche. Real quickly, let's go over the individual honors for all of our local area athletes. First, we started off by the two dashes, the 100-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. We don't have a lot of sprinters in our area, and there you see on the entire graphic, only one young lady, Emmy Robinson from Central Catholic, finished in the top 6. So I'm going to give you the top 6 finishers simply because they're the ones who score points. I have been told they automatically make All-State if they score a point for their school in the meet. Top 6 score points. So at number 2 in 1A was Emmy Robinson of Central Catholic. Then we move on to the 400 and the 800 meter runs. We call them runs. Some people call the 400 meter a dash, but it's not a dash. That's a tough run. We only had one young man in our local area who finished, and he finished high, and that was Yar Torres Aguilar from South Lafourche. Obviously, he helped that team win a state championship. He finished first in the 400 meter run in 4A. Then we moved to the 800 meter run. In the 800 meter run, Josh Guidry of South Lafourche finished in second place. In 5th place in 5A was Cohen Oquan. And if you'll notice, Cohen Oquan's time was faster than Josh Guidry. But remember, they don't run in the same classification. That's the difference there. And then in girls 5A, Alicia Hodson, who has run well the entire year, she actually came out in 4th place. She scored points for Central Lafourche there. In the 1600 meter run, it was Joshua Guidry and Liam Kelsey in 5A. On the girls side of things, it was Kate McGee and Katie Guidry. Then on the boys, 3200 meter run, which is basically 2 miles, you have Liam Kelso again, the youngster. He's got a few more years of running at Vanderbilt, finished in 4th place. Matt Plazos of South Lafourche finished in 5th place. And on the girls side of things, Kate McGee finished in 6th place for Vanderbilt in the 3200 meter run. Marcus Thomas of Ellender Memorial finished 3rd in the 100 meter hurdles. Actually, he runs the 110. The girls run the 100. Then we move on to the 4x100 relay in 4A. E.D. White came out 3rd place, and the Vanderbilt Terriers came out in 5th place. We move on to the 4x200 relay. On the girls' side of things, E.D. White came out 5th place. On the 4x400, now this surprised me a little bit. Nobody from the Bayou region finished in the top 6. Again, folks, I'm going over the top 6 in each particular classification/division. So let's go to the high jump. In the high jump, you have a lot of local kids. That might be our best event in the Bayou region. In 4A, Tremont James, who was your 1st place finisher at 6'6". I can't imagine jumping 6'6". That's amazing. In 2A, 2nd place was Homer Christian's Rafael Cortez. In 5th place in 5A was Joshua Wolf, and in 6th place in 2A was Carter Fitzgerald. And there you see 2 girls finished 4th and 6th in 4A, Courtney Dewey and Sanaya Stokes. In the boys 300 meter hurdles, it was Marcus Thomas finishing in 5th place. On the girls' side, it was Sarah DeGravel from E.D. White. Now we go all field events. In the long jump, we had no boys who did anything. On the girls' side, Jordan Geeson of Central Catholic did extremely well, along with Emery Ingram and Alexa Rogers. In the triple jump, Chandler Hartman finished in 6th place for Ellender. On the girls' side, Emery Ingram again. She finished in 3rd place, along with Courtney Dewey. We jumped to the discus. In the discus, we actually had a couple of kids do extremely well. In 1st place was Jack Redding of Central Lafourche. And then you had in 5th place, Jakeem Diggs from South Terrebonne. Young lady, Kylie Johnson of E.D. White finished in 4th place in the discus. In the shot put, Jack Redding again, he finished in 2nd place along with Matt Cortez of E.D. White finishing in 3rd place. On the girls' side, congratulations to Tiana Stewart. 2 years running, she is your shot put champion in the girls' event. Finishing in 2nd place was Kiana Truehill of South Lafourche. Ironically, those two finished in the opposite position for the regional. Kiana won the regional, Tiana was in 2nd place. That's just the way it goes. Javelin, Jacques Billiard of South Lafourche finished in second place. Lakin Filinich of South Lafourche finished in fifth place. Girls, Sophia Vidros of Central Lafourche in 5A finished in third place in the javelin. And the last event in the pole vault, Blake Gidry finished in second place. He, of course, goes to E.D. White, and Jacob Galliano of South Lafourche finished in sixth place. And in the girls' side of things, Carolyn Email of South Lafourche finished in third place. Caroline Robinson of E.D. White finished in fourth place. Congratulations to all of those individuals as they represented the area extremely well. Listen, South Lafourche, first championship ever. What an honor, and very proud of them, and something that you can never take away. They were actually the only public school that won a track and field state championship this year. Mentioned a little bit earlier that I had Caroline Loupe on. Caroline Loupe is going to talk to us a little bit about her decision to take the job at Ellender Memorial. It is my pleasure to be joined by Caroline Loupe. Caroline is now the head basketball coach for the women's program over at Ellender Memorial. Are you still sort of on cloud nine? I know you found out a couple of weeks ago. What's the feeling right now as you're getting started?
Definitely very, very excited. Just preparing for summer, how I want that to look for the girls, finishing out some tweaks in our schedule here and there about what gyms we're going to be in and things like that. But definitely very excited. Excited to meet the girls. We have our first day of like optional kind of workouts before tryouts next week. So just planning that out and very, very excited.
Caroline, listen, you're young, but you're not necessarily inexperienced. You've worked with some programs, you've worked with some coaches in the area that I think you probably have gained valuable experience. For those folks who don't know about your situation since you left Central Lafourche, tell them a little bit about what you've been doing.
So right after I graduated, I got on at Lockport Middle School, which is the middle school that I went to, and I was on their boys head coach of their boys program. And then after that, I went to Vanderbilt for 2 years, and then this past year, to finish my college degree, I worked with Coach Ashley Barba at Thibodeau. But starting with the boys, it was kind of step out into fresh water kind of thing, kind of inexperienced. I had knowledge of like youth coaching, like I coached some youth biddy teams with Central for a few years, but just kind of giving them the raw knowledge that I had of the game and figuring out how to work with different personalities. Going from the boys' side to the girls' side is definitely a little different. But I was so grateful that I was able to head coach on a middle school side before I stepped up to the high school side, because it's kind of like taking a small bite before you kind of jumped right in. And I worked with some great people. Coach Jacob Allen was the AD over there, and he helped me tremendously stepping out and into a new role that I didn't have a whole lot of experience in. But I loved it. I loved my time at Lockport. And then I was fortunate enough to join Coach Coleman at Vanderbilt the first year with the girls. And that season just feels like a fever dream thinking back about it. We, won the state championship that year. It was a very, very good things. But just going from starting and learning from Coach Coleman was one of the best things that I could have had before stepping out and head coaching my own team, learning the ins and out of the game and tools that I knew, but I didn't know how to teach to other girls. And Coach Coleman taught me. He explained things to me in depth, not just, this is what I'm doing, but why this is what I'm doing. And from the last 2 years, learning from him was like a gift that I was able to experience. And then with Coach Ashley Barba at Thibodeau this past year, with my college degree, I have to learn and teach under a mentor teacher before I graduate. And I was very fortunate and lucky enough to be paired up with Coach Ashley Barba at Thibodeau. I was able to see a side that I didn't get to see with Coach Coleman. So kind of like instead of being in practice and games and coaching alongside Coach Ashley, I was able to see how a head coach performs as a teacher and like what her day-to-day looks like in that teaching role while trying to juggle also being the head coach of a sport, and just learning the ins and outs of kind of like the technical side, the behind the scenes side that a lot of people don't get to see from a coach perspective. So, how we get buses lined up, how to get concessions lined up for home games, how to get, what are the procedures that she does with her players when they're misbehaving in school, and just things like that I wasn't lucky enough to see under Coach Coleman because I didn't work with him day in and day out like I did with Coach Barba. And just also seeing a teacher she was, the PE and learning from her in athletic PE, which is one of the subjects that I'll be teaching at Ellender, workout programs and really how to benefit the girls off the court in a classroom setting, because I coached with her taught a lot of the basketball girls, and just learning how to coach them, forming those relationships outside of the gym. It was like a gift that I was able to learn from these two great coaches in the community.
Very good. Listen, it's a situation where you're going into Ellender, a very proud program. It's been tough the last couple of years, and I think that's because of maybe the feeding schools and how that all worked and the dynamic. But certainly under Coach Dixon, Kenneth Dixon there for a long time, they were perennial powers in basketball. So what's the first order of business? Or has that already started?
Definitely introducing myself to the girls. One of the assistant coaches who's going to be with me, they had last year, Coach Martin. So I'm lucky enough to be able to keep her on staff. And I've heard great things about her relationship-wise, building with the girls. So keeping them comfortable. And then, when I do talk to them for that first time, helping them understand that it's not like the end of the world, new coach, new environment, like not a whole lot of things are changing for them, and to just keep them comfortable. But, we're going to get down to business, fundamentals, drilling them, just building that step-by-step layer that maybe, this group coming in wasn't fortunate enough to be able to learn under Coach Dixon like the older girls were. And just, building that and building them a confidence on the court to know what to do, when to do it, why to do it kind of thing.
I'm going to go back to something you stated a little bit earlier when we were talking, setting up schedules, doing things like that. Ellender is not in the most optimal situation related to having a gym. Matter of fact, they don't have a gym. What is your knowledge of what's going to happen going forward next year?
So definitely grateful for Coach Archie Adams at South Terrebonne. We're able to use his gym and coordinate around the gyms at South Terrebonne with their programs and our boys basketball program to find time slots that work for us during the summer to work out. So like we were able to get that down, and we have a set spot during the summer using their gym to work. And also the Mechanicville and East Homa gyms. That's where we're holding our workout next week. So, very lucky to be able to use some of our outside resources.
Listen, you also mentioned something related to, kind of bouncing off of the thought process with Coach Jaworski Coleman and Coach Ashley Barber. I just realized they're not going to be in your district next year anyway. Is that going to be a continuing relationship going forward?
Definitely, yeah. Ashley and Coach Coleman both told me the second I got the job that, no matter what, I'm in your corner. If you need help, phone's always open. We actually joked, a lot of the girls at Thibodeau that I taught, they were joking that, better schedule a game against y'all. We're going to beat y'all. And Coach Barber already has her schedule made. So I told him, man, maybe next year.
Very good, very good. Listen, Caroline, thank you so much for giving us the time. We certainly wish you the best of luck, and we're hearing such great things. So, again, I think Ellender's really lucky to have you there, and we wish you, again, the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Big thanks to Caroline for stepping in and talking to us, and we, again, are going to move on, but we want to congratulate South Lafourche. We want to wish the best to Vanderbilt Catholic, Covenant Christian, and Central Catholic from our local area, as they are all shooting for baseball championships later this year. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care, everybody.